Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. Listen, you don't need to wear that mask around here, okay? It doesn't do anything. Nobody cares about that crap anymore. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health, and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as gut microbiome and technicolor. So I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
And Dr. London, you're being such a good sport about this. I know you hate having a microphone shoved in your face when we're supposed to be on vacation.
I know.
But I screwed up. I messed up.
Yeah. No, you did.
Let me explain a little bit what we're talking about. Dr. London and I are actually recording this on location. We're not in the studio like usual, but we are at a sort of fancy hotel resort.
Mm-hmm. It's really
probably
exciting.
The number one Halloween party in the world.
Yeah.
Is basically what happens at and we know Halloween's like a month and some change away.
Yeah.
But it is the most popular and coolest and funnest and loudest Halloween party you've ever heard of that goes on at this hotel/resort. So Dr. London and I have been in line for about 19 weeks.
Yeah. And I'll say that the line hasn't been moving, in part because we're first. We made it first. So that's really exciting. We were first in line. It has not
moved, which is really annoying. I think it might move today. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's one of these things where you do learn patience. We've been setting up like little games here. We got a charging station going. If any of us have to pee, the other one, holds the spot in line. They go. Yeah. We sleep on, we take turns sleeping so that we can have someone on watch. Because we also brought a lot of stuff with us here. Someone has to keep an eye on all of our things. Like got camping gear.
It's not just us in this line or anything like that. There are other people.
Yeah,
there are people who think it's a line for the bathroom. There are people who think it's a line for the cafe.
Yeah.
And people, all sorts of reasons they might accidentally be in the line.
Yeah. So, they aren't necessarily in the line for the same reason that we are.
No, because they're not as smart as we are to get there 19 weweeks early. That's to say is we backlogged a bunch of episodes, and I did the math wrong, and we're missing one.
Well, because it's new math. People don't know about this. It's actually new math now.
It's Common Core, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did Common Core math to figure out how many episodes we need to backlog to be gone for 19 weeks. And somehow I came up with the number 18. And so we're missing an episode. And so we have to record it on location.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
I hate doing it. Look, I'm on vacation too. I know it kind of sucks, but
it's work. And sometimes you have to do work. You got to pay the bills. So
do we want to talk a little bit about, you talked about the line stuff, but this is vacation. We have been having fun. We are in costume.
Fun. Yes.
We are in costume prepared for Halloween.
Yes.
Do you want to say what you are?
Yeah. I'm dressed as Shrek in the Iron Man suit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's, and this is the version of Shrek that's turned into a human. Sorry, I should clarify that.
The best kind. I hated seeing that green monster.
It was ugly and had all these bad habits. Yeah. So no, I'm the human pretty attractive version of Shrek but in the Iron Man suit. So basically a little bit bigger than normal Iron Man. So the suit doesn't fit properly.
Yeah, you can see a lot of it's not green, but a lot of, I guess, just human flesh underneath.
Yeah.
Normal colored human flesh. Yeah. Underneath.
Now, critics might say that I just, bought a children's Iron Man costume.
But you don't do it for the critics.
No, this is for the true Shrek fans out there.
And of course, I'm dressed as Donkey from Shrek, dressed as the Babadook. So it's sort of a theme along the lines with yours. I'm Donkey, who's sort of in the outfit of the Babadook.
Which it's frustrating for me because you said you would be Fiona and we were going to do, a group thing.
Yeah, I was sort of weirded out at how much you insisted I be Fiona. I don't know what the...
I said you could be the ogre version. I said that. You didn't have to be like a human version of Fiona. You could be the ogre version.
Yeah, but I just feel like at some point in the night, you're going to try to turn me from ogre to human or human to ogre or vice versa. And that's the part I'm not interested in. You're going to trick me into drinking like a potion or something weird.
I was.
And it's going to make me shit myself is basically what's going to happen. And it's not going to work and be like, damn, I thought that was going to turn you into the ogre version.
Okay. I didn't realize that you knew.
Yes, okay. I know all of your crazy experiments. I support them, Dr. London. Your insane experiments are part of your personality. I just think on Halloween, I don't want to be sort of pooping my pants because...
It's managing because the diaper isn't a part of your costume anymore.
No. As donkey? No. Because, donkeys are just sort of walking around, never wearing any sort of... Yeah.
It's our particular spot in the line has had to have a lot of maintenance. I said we'd take restroom breaks, but I do.
Yeah.
And you just go. Which, no, I like, good for you. You're in character.
Well, and also it's important to remember some people maybe haven't actually seen the Babadook. They've just seen, the meme and the jokes or whatever. Babadook is wearing assless chaps the entire time. You don't see the back of him that often, but when you do, he is very plump and he's just sort of letting it all hang out.
You should also get around to watching Shrek as well.
That's really not in my wheelhouse, I don't think. That doesn't seem like it's for me.
No, it's just like, because I studied it. Like I took a lot of notes and it just seems like
but I mean, you said there was a Smash Mouth. You said there was Smash Mouth songs in it.
Yeah, there's Smash Mouth songs.
I can't do that. I can't.
No, I know, and it's like the whole trying to turn you into an ogre thing. Like I knew it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw right through it. Anyway, so that's our producer Cameron. That's where we are. Also with us is Dezhawn the host.
Listen, you don't need to wear that mask around here, okay? It doesn't do anything. Listen, you don't need to wear that mask. Nobody cares about that crap anymore. Listen, you don't need... Listen, you don't need... Listen, you don't... Listen, you don't need... Mask around here, okay? Mask around here, okay? Listen, you don't need... Listen, you don't need... Mask around here, okay?
And he's set up in the corner there. I want to clarify here. He's not the lounge singer. We assume that there will be one sometime today, but he is in a separate part of the stage. He's on stage, but he's just not in that section of the stage. And I don't know who's managing the curtains. I wish I could introduce them.
He's built sort of a hammock system on the side of the stage is what it is. He's sort of hanging in a hammock, like 9-10 feet off the ground, high enough where you're not going to bump your head into him, but it's still like really weird.
Yeah, and
because it's very visible, very obnoxious,
throwing bottles just constantly, which like it has been good for my reflexes. I've been working a lot on that.
Yeah.
So it's good. But anyway, before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So for a long time, our listener demographic was primarily 57-year-old men who continuously tried to get high from skunk spray,
Yes.
despite the fact they hated the smell. So that was our demographic. We have since moved on. In our efforts to cater to them, we found out that we were actually neglecting our real listener base, which is a whole lot of bot accounts.
Yes, we kept targeting it towards real people, and we realized for every real person, there were 439,000 bots listening to this podcast. So it's sort of like, why are we catering to, these humans?
No wonder we're losing advertisers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Cameron, would you mind asking the fax machine for the feedback?
Yes, let me just go ahead and hack the fax machine. It's really fact the hack machine almost a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Let me read this. Dear hosts of the Jock podcast, I'm an insane and violent robot. I listened to your recent episode and I'm offended that you would dare to suggest that robots are not capable of love. I will come to your home and murder you in your sleep for this. Thank you for your time.
Well, okay, first thing, thank you so much for your feedback. This is really good. This is a very self-aware robot emotionally. I like that. This robot really seems to, they say that they're a crazy, whatever, murderous robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very much
insane and violent. Yeah.
Their own space and their mental space. So that's super healthy if you're aware of that. So the question was, we said that he is not capable of love, or they.
Yeah, the robot is offended. I mean, the fax machine is offended that you said that robots are not capable of love, and they're going to murder you in your sleep for this. Thank you for your time. They are very polite.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to build a robot that can love. Show me the robot that can love, I guess is my response. Because I've been trying, but
oh yeah,
the more because I keep building, but I try to build the love chip, and it just won't compute.
Yeah, you keep trying to build these robots that you keep building just despise you. They love other stuff, but they do not love you at all.
Oh yeah, they love going to the movies. They love hanging out.
They love other people. They have friends, really close friends. They fall in love with other people.
Well, they don't. No, if they can't love me, then they don't love other people. There's no way that they can do one without loving me.
That's what you say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say different. You're just like, oh no, that's not how it works. I'm the inventor. So
yeah, they it's like ducks. They should imprint whenever they see me. That's what I programmed the love chip to do. But they seem to be imprinting. It's almost
like it's doing the opposite. Yeah. It's like they resent you.
Anyone else. Yeah. So no, I'm afraid, and look, once again, love to see it if it actually works. But so far, no. Robots are incapable of love.
Okay. Fax machine, thank you for listening and writing in, but it sounds like Dr. London is rejecting your suggestion that robots could be capable of love. They cannot.
It sounds like it's just a lack of education from their perspective.
So I would maybe avoid using the fax machine for a little bit, Dr. London, because I can't see how the fax machine is going to murder you, because it's not one of the ones that even pulls in piece of paper like a printer would, where maybe it could grab your finger. It's just one of the ones that scans stuff. So beyond just scanning your face a bunch, I'm not really sure what the fax can do, but still pretty pissed. I would just avoid the fax for a little bit.
I hadn't even thought of what if its ability to scan me. I'm actually okay. No, we'll just have to avoid walking around there. I am glad we brought the fax machine with us for this waiting in line, because I was faxing a bunch of stuff to my friends, but I guess we'll put that on hold.
Well, you brought the fax machine because you were feeling lonely.
Yeah, but no love from that. Anyway, so thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, acute adrenal insufficiency. Generally speaking, in medical terms, acute means that something happens in a short time period. So, an acute adrenal insufficiency is an urgent or emergent crisis of the adrenal glands. Causes of this acute adrenal insufficiency include hemorrhage, surgery, hypotension, that's low blood pressure, trauma that rapidly destroys the gland, that can cause it, a sudden removal of chronic high-dose prednisone, which is a steroid, or adrenal function, can also quickly be lost through the loss of the pituitary, though this cause is rare. So normally adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is abbreviated ACTH, that's a hormone that is secreted from the pituitary to stimulate the adrenals. So if ACTH levels are low, the adrenal insufficiency is from the pituitary's failure to send out ACTH to stimulate the adrenal glands. That makes sense, right? So if the ACTH level is high, that means the pituitary is working, and the source of the problem is not the pituitary. It must be the adrenal insufficiency from a primary source. The gland itself is messed up.
Being a doctor is almost being like a police detective, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Right, you're finding clues. You're like, it's not this thing, so it must be this thing.
Wow, you really listen. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the lounge?
No,
vibes
it's just I didn't.
That are.
No, yeah, the lounge vibes are great. I just didn't know you were a cop. I mean,
No, not professionally. Okay. I'm an amateur in that.
Oink oink. Just throwing that out there.
Well, just throwing that. That's super offensive to me and the other cops.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know you were. It just sort of changes the entire just feeling of the entire podcast. So? It's just knowing that you're a cop.
Just like. In what's your problem? Because I'm a detective, like I'm solving mysteries with the body. Like how does this change anything if I put on some blue?
You're propping up a corrupt system, Dr. London.
Wow, okay. Like, sure, we get paid a little bit more, just even if crime goes up, then sure, we get paid more just regardless of the results that we bring about. But like,
that's the corruption in the police departments that you're concerned with, is that they get paid a little too much if crime goes up?
No, I get paid more if crime goes up. I guess it's not a concern, is it? I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's just like a bonus.
I solve mysteries, but I don't necessarily do anything about them on the force. Yeah. Okay. It's just fun to solve them. Anyways, so symptoms of acute adrenal insufficiency include weakness, fatigue, altered mental status, nausea, vomiting, anorexia, hypotension, hyponatremia, hyperkalemia. Additionally, acute adrenal crisis can present with profound hypotension, fever, confusion, and coma. Bear in mind that in acute adrenal insufficiency, also known as acute adrenal crisis, it is a crisis. So treatment is more important than testing. That being said, diagnostic testing can include the cosentropin stimulation test, which is the most specific test of adrenal function. Cosentropin is synthetic ACTH, which I mentioned earlier. So cortisol level is measured before and after the administration of cosentropin. And in a patient who is otherwise healthy, an elevated cortisol after the administration of cosentropin is a positive test, meaning that the patient has hypoadrenalism of some kind. So treatment for acute adrenal insufficiency involves replacing...
So your sort of takeaway of being a cop and a doctor is that you want to do a bunch of tests on people? This is sort of your main focus?
Yeah, and I know you're going to say like...
Not at all surprised, Dr. London.
I know that what you're probably thinking is the whole stop and frisk thing that in the doctor's office. No, like that's not... they don't allow that anymore. So that's not a part of it, if that's what you're getting at.
And so you just do it for what reason then?
Well, you have to. It's called palpating, and we changed the name. But yeah, when you touch someone, that's called palpation. So you stop and palpate. That's the difference.
And that you do that every time a patient comes in because you say you're a tactile learner.
Yeah, well, and I explained to them like, so I'm just learning. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're sort of just touching their face and sort of just finger by finger.
Well, just, blind people do that all the time. So it's not weird.
I don't think so. I don't think blind people are doing that to a lot of people unless they like specifically ask and it's for a reason.
Okay. I guess I don't hang out with... Anyway, so treatment for acute adrenal insufficiency involves replacing the steroids that the patient is no longer producing with hydrocortisone. If there is still evidence of postural instability, administer fludrocortisone, a steroid hormone that is very high in mineralocorticoid or aldosterone-like effect. Use mineralocorticoid supplements in primary adrenal insufficiency if the patient is on oral steroids such as cortisone. So hopefully that's for acute adrenal insufficiency.
And if they're on the wrong steroids, you're going to arrest them?
Well, I'd probably just change the treatment plan. Well, no, sorry, I would also probably arrest them. Just because, like, when you put on that,
You're going to prescribe them something illegal and then arrest them for it? This is the entrapment. This is why doctors should not be cops. Sorry.
This is why. Well,
This is why. It's entrapment to prescribe someone illegal drugs and then arrest them for it. In this economy,
I need 2 paychecks. I just do.
I don't think your paycheck is affected by how many people you...
no. I guess by paycheck, I meant the bets.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Pool. We all place bets on who's going to have the most arrests, and but you're trying to paint it. You're trying to get me canceled. That's not fair. Let's.
I'm not trying to get you canceled. I want you to stay on this podcast. I don't want you to take a $100 million Spotify deal and then, leave me. Because that's what would happen if you got canceled. You'd be given a Netflix special. You'd be given $100 million from Spotify. You'd be in a few movies and stuff like that. And I don't want that.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to drop it for now because honestly, I do want that. I want my Netflix special. Anyway, we can move on from there though. Well, so I guess so we did the medical lesson. That's really the whole episode that we really need to do. So I guess we actually have a performer coming on stage. Okay. Hello. Can we? Do you mind if we get on stage to hang out?
Yeah. I actually don't have a lot of material, so I was gonna incorporate crowd participation.
Yeah.
So get on up here.
Oh, okay. Because we weren't doing. Just so the listeners know, Dr. Lynn and I were just recording this at a table on the side. We weren't we're not piped through the speaker system. We weren't doing this on stage in front of an audience or anything like that.
Well, it's rehearsal. I don't have a lot of material, so I'm rehearsing. So I feel like you guys would be a good test run for me when the people actually come in and pay money.
Could we actually interview you a bit for our show? We have a sort of a fun medical podcast. Sounds like you have an interesting job. You might make a good guest.
Yeah, I'm always down. Got to get your name out there somehow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Tweeting.
Yeah.
Tweeting's a pretty good. You just tweet the name usually. I feel like, and then if you have enough followers.
Then people can actually retweet your name.
Oh, okay. I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't want to just tweet someone's name without context if you have a ton of followers. That might be a good way to get someone swatted.
No.
Or because fans of people know that they're being mobilized, but they don't know why. So they're usually going to assume, okay, we're going to get this person fired from their job. We're going to call a SWAT team on them, something along those lines.
That's the thing. You can tweet a very common name like Ashley Johnson. There's probably a lot of those out there.
Well, but that's getting Ashley's name out there. I want my name to get out there.
Your 2 million Twitter followers isn't enough, Dr. London?
No, they don't even know my name. I don't tweet my name enough. That's the problem.
They're like, who are we following? He's not tweeting his name. I don't.
But 95% of those, Dr. London, are our bot listeners who have absorbed all human knowledge that's on the internet. So I think they know your name.
I don't know.
This is inspiring something.
Ooh.
It usually does.
Yeah, this is the process. That's why I'm glad you guys. Ooh. Names. So many names. Whoa. Yeah. There you go. I write my own songs, so
I could not tell. I thought that was a cover.
Yeah, a lot of these hotel lounge guys, they're singing the hits. I'm making the hits. So
that wasn't Taylor Swift. You're
I did study with Taylor Swift, so that sound she happened to get a little bit more popular than I, but so that sound that we popularized together.
Okay.
That's what you're hearing.
What's your name, by the way?
Warren Hoffman.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
First of its kind.
This is crazy. I think I've actually heard of you. Were you playing in this lounge every week for the last 19 weeks?
Oh, you slide devil, you know I have been.
No way.
I thought I recognized you. I mean, holy shit,
Yeah.
Dr. London, this is the guy that we've been hearing, most weekdays
You
for.
go to the bathroom? You guys at the bathroom?
I was.
Did you hear
yes.
this? At the bathroom.
Yes.
I thought that was
the
just me in my head. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
that was me. I try to entertain the guests while the lines are so long. They're so long here.
Like, I thought I was coming up with some really good stuff. Wow. Okay, so my bathroom experience just in my mind is so warped, I guess. Okay, so so for one thing, you are starting to gather a crowd already. I guess it is that time.
It's that time.
Yeah. So I guess we should position ourselves properly, because I don't know how often. Well, I do know how often from the last few weeks you get interviewed while you're singing. But we're gonna go ahead, and our interview positions are usually gonna be, once again, DJ Dylan does hang overhead, and then we're gonna go ahead and we kind of each have a stick to poke you a little bit whenever we want to ask a question.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I just want to make sure that's all good.
Poke me.
Okay.
Grab my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything you want.
Now, Warren, I want to know, how long have you been doing this?
I started off as backup, Jessica Simpson. Yeah, backing track.
Oh, wow.
She did a cover of Let It Snow. That's where we met, and I met on the set of that. And then something just, after touring with her for 8 years, something told me that I should branch out. And that's when I started writing my own music. And about 2 years ago, I got this hotel gig.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
2 years.
Oh, wow.
I did skip
Now,
I did skip the college years, like I told you, me and Taylor Swift, but I figured that's not really important because at the time, I wasn't.
Oh yeah. When any of our listeners hear this, they're gonna breeze right over the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
They've already forgotten about it.
They've already forgotten about it.
Irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, they're absorbing, just millions of terabytes of data every single second. And so it's hard to, process every single thing. Now, you say, you wanted to take time to write your own music. So far, the music that I typically hear when you work on weekdays is just observing what some of the guests are doing. And you're saying, like, that guy's digging through his bag or something like that. That person's going to the bathroom. I think they were in there for 15 minutes. It doesn't seem like these are written songs. These are more improvisational, right?
Yeah. Well, they become written because, like, I might, that might be the inspiration, but then afterwards, you'll see, like, a lot of the time I do get up from the piano. Like, during a set, I will get up because I'll see something, and I'm like, I have to write this down.
Yeah,
so
I've seen you chase stuff all around. Like, there was a moth in here, and you were chasing that for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I've also
you got to get the perspective of a moth. So if you see something, people want to hear the truth, and people want to know what's happening in the world around them.
This makes a lot of sense because I have seen you a lot of times just very abruptly stop singing, and then you get on your iPad and you're typing something for like a really long time, because that's the worst thing to just be typing on if you're trying to take notes is an iPad.
Yeah. Well,
and then you go back to singing, but it's like 15 minutes of sort of just nothing as you sort of just type all these notes down. Now it makes so much sense. It's your creative process.
Yeah. I got the iPad. A couple years ago, and I used to do the voice typing. So I'd be playing and I'd voice type, and I might say, that guy is eating an apple. But then the voice from the iPad would pick up, my guy is beating his wife. And I was like,
no.
So then one time I was performing, and I just read the lyrics of what I wrote, and I said that out loud, and it wasn't. I got an innocent guy sent to jail. So.
Oh wow! You didn't speak up or anything and like clarify.
Well, it was me.
You just sort of saying.
He's saying
Oh. Okay, this was recent.
Him.
This was the cop, pretty... Dr. London.
Yeah,
overheard you saying this, and then he arrested him. Okay, I shouldn't be surprised.
I was gonna say something, but I looked at London, and he gave me that look, and I knew the show must go on, so I had to keep going.
That is, Dr. London always says the biggest crime, which I guess I didn't realize till now meant like actual literal crime, is not letting the show go on. Which now I think if someone were to stop letting the show go on, you would arrest them. Is that London? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, like the list of arrestable offenses in this casual lounge is high. Like there's a lot. One thing I've been wanting to workshop, and I could use the input here. Do I go by Doc Fisser London or like Officer Doctor? Like I'm trying to combine it properly.
Oh, you're trying to mash up doctor and police officer.
Yeah, just to make it easier for people, you know.
Yeah,
it's like Doc off.
Doc, and that'll clarify.
Like Doc off.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Oh, he's a fun cop guy. He's doing a little pun right there, like Doc off."
And then that I can, if I use that, then that's gonna be like, "Hey, Doc off, man." Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
pretty edgy.
Thanks.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty cool. People like that. You know.
Yeah.
MGK.
And if they don't like it, then that is an offense that all. Yeah, they can be.
I don't like this at all. I don't like this turn.
Well, it's just like you have to maintain.
The thin blue line, Dr. London, is not a stage I was prepared for.
We will be in anarchy if I don't enforce law and order.
He has to. I'm all for it. And I have a single like Anarchy. We need the police.
Thank you.
The problem with Dr. London's ethos, though, is it's not even just sort of generic, like, right-wing, I'm supporting police officers because they're the thin blue line between destruction. It's Dr. London believes in the thin Dr. London line. He thinks he is the line between all chaos and destruction.
I just figure I probably know best. Like, odds are.
So it's like, you're very like vocally anti-cop. I just want to make sure people understand that. But you just think that you should be the ultimate authority.
Okay, well, that's not okay.
How so?
Well, I have, not to talk about my music again, I have a song called "One Man Can't Do It All." Oh. It's an acapella, so I don't even have to play the piano.
I'd love to hear it, please.
It's just one man can't do it all. One man can't stop us from falling. And then that's...
You're usually writing. You're on your iPad at this point.
Yeah, I'm usually iPadding it right there.
The room goes quiet for another 20 minutes while you try to puzzle out this next... Yeah.
Well, 4-hour shows, man. You have that luxury when you're doing 4-hour lounge shows.
I gotta say, it's really helped the waiting in line. For us, at least. Like, if I can just now, I want to thank you for the entertainment while we've been waiting in line, because it's almost felt like you were waiting in line too. I need to clarify now. Actually, are you waiting in line for the Halloween party?
I don't wait in lines anymore. I don't think I have to because.
Well, you're a celebrity.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that you. Doc off. I'm surprised you're waiting in line. Yeah. 2 million followers.
Yeah. And traditionally they are following. They're not ahead of me. But I'm trying to maintain my place in line, but it's kind of one of these things where you do have to establish yourself as the authority figure in the line. So there were people ahead of me when we got here.
Yeah.
They might have been waiting for the bathroom or whatever.
It was a bathroom line when we first started. Yeah.
Well, in a sense, I am waiting for a line because, like, once the line is gone, I will walk in after everybody else. But I don't wait in line. I wait for the line, but I don't wait in line.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, you're sort of the, like, king of this place.
Yeah, this is like my domain. I'm like the king and the jester because I provide the entertainment, but I can also.
But obviously, the one who actually brings the hammer down is going to be the doc off. Like you're trying to say.
The doc, the resident doc.
So, like, you can try to talk big about it, but like in the end, I'm going to be the one who's in charge, right? Because, and I'm not. It's not an insecurity on me. It's not from that. It's because I'm actually the one in charge.
Don't cry.
Well, we're both in charge. I mean,
Patreon. If you're not a Patreon listener, you need to subscribe right now to see Dr. London. I mean, he's about to cry.
Oh, it's not. It's just because I am in charge. Like I was in charge.
You're in charge, dude. You're in charge.
I know exactly what you mean, though. When you feel that emotion, and you feel it inside of you.
You know it too.
Yeah, there's good tears, and then there's the bad tears.
Thank you.
And you're crying the good tears.
And that's what I keep telling people while I arrest them. Like just because I'm crying doesn't mean it's bad. Like it's actually can be a really good thing.
Yeah, it's actually cool that I'm expressing myself right now.
Yeah, a lot of guys keep it bottled up.
While you're arresting people, you're really talking a lot about the dangers of toxic masculinity.
What's good to when you're crying is to let it out through song. And I know this from experience, but I need you to. I'm gonna play a little something for you, and you can sing. You can let it out.
Okay. Finally. Crying in the lounge.
That's good. You could do this.
Wow, that was really good, Dr. London.
Thank you. No, I people keep telling me that as I arrest them. That like
I don't think I've ever seen you bare your soul like that, Dr.
That was very vulnerable.
Stating an action and a place, most people can't do that. Not the way I did. So I guess I am pretty brave.
I can do it.
But I'm the doc op, so like it wouldn't really be your place to do that.
Well, wait, you're saying, Dr. London, you're saying your place now is to be the person who sings? This is the first time you've ever sang in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to have to bring the hammer down.
Okay, well, but you could, because I'm the...
Okay,
I'm trying to figure out how I'm insecure
this
about this.
power struggle is incredible to watch. Two iconoclasts.
Just... Okay, no, well... You never... We don't have to fight. We don't have to fight.
Warren, is this the dream? I mean, are you doing what you want to do, or is there a bigger goal out there?
I mean, for a while, I had a lot of resentment towards Taylor Swift. I felt like she stole what was mine.
Same.
But I look at it, and it's like, here I get 5 free meals a day.
Well, we toss out a lot of what we make.
Yeah, and I get this. I prefer the scraps. People say that I get the scraps, but I prefer the scraps.
Oh, yeah, that's the way you wanted it.
Yeah, it's a variety of much, like, and I don't have to worry about getting full because it's the bits and pieces of everything.
You get that 5 times a day?
5 times a day.
Well, Cameron, you don't see whenever, because you do the cooking, Cameron, and then I do the cleaning, which is throwing scraps on stage.
Yeah, and the cooking is just getting the food out of the vending machine.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird that you guys, the time that you've been here, I always thought it was weird. I never said anything, but watching from the stage, I was like, it's weird that you guys are providing the food while you're supposed to be on vacation.
Yeah. Well, it's thank you for
considering how comfortable we are.
You guys,
that's very nice.
You're workaholics. I mean, you're supposed to be on vacation right now. You're here with me.
Thank you.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
Yeah, well, not everywhere in the world has a very loud Halloween party.
Yeah. And not everywhere in the world is going to let Dr. London back. We can just sort of say that.
Yeah, we've there are quite a few other parties that we did intend to go to, but we burned a few bridges over the years.
Luxembourg is not going to be letting Dr. London off the plane anytime soon. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, but that's like one of the few countries that has barred my entrance.
Yeah, that's like one of only like maybe 6 or 7, and there's like 100. Yeah. There's like 100 countries.
There's like 100 countries.
So that's barely anything.
It's weird that out of those 6 or 7 countries, that most of them are Middle Eastern countries. What were you doing there?
That is interesting. I don't think I've ever questioned this before.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't come up. Like, so while I was visiting these countries, I kept on basically being the doc off. Like, I was trying to establish myself everywhere I went.
Oh, yeah.
And
but
unfortunately,
there were competing authority figures.
Yeah.
And regimes you were dealing with, huh?
Yeah. Some of them just take it a lot differently. Because I tell them Blue Lives Matter, and they wouldn't. Well, my Blue Life Matters is what I would say.
Yeah, because you're extremely anti-cop. It is specifically you believe that you are the thing holding society together.
Yeah, and so I'll push people over and like say like I'm the law here.
That's a big part of you being a doc off is just wherever you go, just shoving people down and out of your way.
Yeah.
Out of your way.
Yeah, and I'll have handcuffs, but usually I can't. I don't know. I just fumble those usually. So, but I'm pushing people and have cuffs in my hands while I'm pushing them. But yeah, my problem in those countries ended up being
a little tip before you go on.
Okay.
Little tip. With the handcuffs, I know like they're metal, but they don't get like the same type of rusty, so you don't have to oil them up. And I know you said you keep fumbling them.
Yeah.
So
no, well, are you sure that they don't get rusty? Because they're so greased up.
Oh, I thought you were greasing them up to get them out of your jeans faster.
Yeah. Well, it didn't hurt. I can tell you that. But it does. Okay.
It's like a catch-22. You can get them out of your jeans faster, but then you can't put them on your
You know what you should do is people have like ID lanyards or whatever, but it's on like a pulley thingy that like zips back. Mm-hmm. You just put a pair of handcuffs on it. Then you're not even having to get it out of your pocket. It's just hanging on your hip.
Hanging on your belt loop.
That, honestly, that might... I'm trying to think if that would have helped me.
When you arrest someone, they're attached to you at the hip, and you can just sort of walk around with them. You don't have to, like, hold... Yeah. You don't have to... your hands are free.
I don't want to strong-arm them, yeah. Better to just have them attached to my waist. Swing my hips a little. The problem they had with me in those countries was that they didn't speak English. That was a big issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pushing them and yelling at them in a language that they did not comprehend.
Did you show them the badge?
Working on the badge. Working on it.
Okay.
It's one of these things where...
You got banned from these countries for not speaking English and for shoving a few people over?
I was shoving pretty hard.
Did you do this on the plane and so they were like, okay, we're just not letting you off? Is that...
Well, yeah. Well, we were technically in their airspace.
Okay. It was the person you were talking to. Was this a person from that country or was it a stewardess or?
Hard to say. Hard to say. Well, I can tell you this. They weren't getting the message that I was telling them.
They weren't.
Which was, I am the law.
Yeah.
I am the hammer. Yeah. I am Doc.
Yeah. So, yeah, they didn't catch on to that. And, I think that I think there's a mutual understanding of respect by the end of it, but I am banned from those countries.
I do want to say, when you're in a situation like that, music unalarms people, and it disarms people. It unalarms and it disarms. I always say that. That's on the front of my piano. I don't know if you noticed it, but music, it unalarms and it disarms. Yeah. And so if you... You can go on. You can feel it.
Yeah. Okay. As I push them over and yell in their face that I'm in charge.
Unalarm, disalarm, unarmed. And then
you're unarmed.
Yeah.
And I have a weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the power of music.
That is the power of music.
I wanted to talk to you guys because I know you're doctors.
At least one of us.
Oh, what's a doctor really? Other than someone that lets you know.
Yeah, I know most of the same stuff he does.
Yeah.
I'm just not charging for it.
Yeah. I woke up, I had a little pain in my tummy.
Oh no.
Oh, you shouldn't keep it there.
Yeah. I didn't. You were gonna say something? I feel like it was.
I was just gonna ask what scraps you had yesterday.
It's a little like pizza crusts.
Okay, should be fine.
Chicken bones.
Just the bones. Okay, that's fine.
I snapped them in half and sucked the juice out.
Wait, did you have the bones originally, or did you just like destroy? Did you tear the chicken apart, like the live chicken apart? I'm trying to get to the process of Was it cooked?
I assumed it was cooked. It was just bones. I don't even know if they were
Okay.
chicken bones. They could have just been any bones, but
Okay.
this restaurant,
Just the bones.
the menu's a little wonky, so it could have been.
Yeah. Well, the
Any
vending
bone.
machine isn't that. Yeah, I don't like their menu currently, but
It's interesting to have a menu that's attached to a vending machine.
yeah. Well, and getting good service around the machine too. It's been obviously a frustration. You know it. But yeah. So
I've lived it for 3 years.
yeah.
Time's melting into each other. I don't even know how long I've been here, honestly.
Oh wait, did you tell us what your ultimate dream was?
It's kind of this: 5 meals a day, just living life.
Oh, that's right.
You've landed it. Yeah.
I'm living my dream.
But look, as we talk about, like, and I get that you want me to provide free medical care, but most of my instincts at the moment are towards arresting you, and I don't want to do. I don't want to do so.
No, Dr. London, no law is being broken. No one's even in your way.
No, I'm on stage. I'm above you. Well, I guess you're on stage with me.
You insisted on getting on. You saw someone getting on stage and then said, "Can we do our podcast on stage?"
Yeah. So, okay.
So
Okay,
put the handcuffs away.
Yeah, I get. Well, and there's.
And I was nice enough to let you. And you're threatening to arrest me.
I shouldn't even say put the handcuffs away. I should say stop trying to pick them up.
Okay, so you know what? I guess a good way to deal with this is just avoid distractions. Let's do the chore wheel. Does that?
Oh boy.
Like,
do we have to?
Like we've been neglecting our chores quite a bit, even more since we've been in here. So,
and you're not even going to tell our guest like how to fix his tum issue.
Yeah,
it's just
my tum's grumbling and rumbling.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me think of a song. Tummy's rumbling. Tummy's grumbling.
It's just like Sufjan Stevens.
You can jump in any moment.
There's no cure for the tum. There's no cure.
If you have a tummy ache, it's probably cancer. If you have a tummy ache.
That's the thing about tummy aches. One day you think you got to take a dump. Next day you're dead.
In that order, yeah. Usually not the reverse order. Medically.
Yeah.
It's, and I wish.
Well, no, it's always the reverse order, technically, too, right? Dying first and then
right.
pooping.
Man,
you're right.
You can do both. You can poop on either ends of the death. I'm just saying.
Very schooled in medicine now, and I'm not okay with you asserting yourself, Cameron.
If you poop before you die, do you poop again?
Like
if I pooped right before.
Yeah, I guess if you're
you've been
completely
starving
emptied
yourself,
out.
Then yeah. So in your face, Cameron. If you starve yourself before you pass away.
I'll let this slide since you're the whatever, the doc off or cop doc or whatever bullshit you are.
Well, you gotta respect my authority here. Hey, but chores.
Somebody's a South Park fan.
That's not a fan. I just recognize an authority figure once again.
You've seen the bumper stickers, the authority figure one, and then just really season 1, 1997 South Park references, like the cat that Cartman had that isn't just nowhere, just went away.
Speaking of the cat, I had scraps, and it was a chicken pot pie.
Okay.
Oh, so that should be good for your tummy.
Yeah.
You would think.
Are you implying that it wasn't?
I'm implying that my tummy hurts.
Oh, okay.
Its tummy hurts, Dr. London.
Well,
your solution was that there's no solution.
Yeah.
And my solution was that it's probably cancer.
Well, and once, I could try to treat it, whatever, but once we put it into the art of a song that there is no cure, then I do feel like my hands are tied or cuffed, if you will.
Oh,
it is true. Music speaks. Music speaks.
You got to commit to your words, otherwise they have no meaning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, my art, not my sung words. Yeah.
Well, I will say one good thing about dying is that my 24 albums, I'm sure they'll go up in the charts.
Oh yeah,
That's how it always works.
You'll become a legend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My estate will make a bunch of money. Taylor Swift owns my masters. So
well, and they can even use snippets from this podcast and then just sort of like they've done with, Pop Smoke's legacy with like 35 albums after he died, where they're just sort of assembling these little clips together, and it's not crass at all or taking advantage of something.
No. Soon, I'm hoping that before I die, we have the technology to fully take all the words that I've said and just make music after I'm dead.
That would
I think
simplify
DJ
things.
Dylan can actually do that.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that is the plan already. That's actually, he's been doing that with all of our guests who die mysteriously after they're on the podcast. Like a lot of them have been releasing hit albums, and a lot of their estate has been passed on to the podcast. Well, no, sorry, to DJ Dylan specifically. So
well, Dylan says he's collecting Waze voices.
Yeah.
He says his Waze app doesn't have enough people directing.
Yeah. So and it's a lot of very cut up words that people say that he has to edit into directions.
Yeah.
And we don't talk a lot about directions on the show. So it is impressive that he's managing to get all the, edit just phonetics and consonants together to sound like, turn left in 60 feet. All that. Anyway, once again, chores. We got to get these chores done.
We got to get the chores done. I'm excited. I'm usually not excited for chores. I usually don't have to do chores because I sit at this piano.
Yeah, why would you? But and usually we don't have to do chores either. That's why there's all these chores we have to do. Let me explain to our listeners what we're talking about. Dr. London and I, every single week, spin this fun chore wheel that has everything on our to-do list on it, and whatever it lands on, that is what we have to do. Mr. Hoffman, would you be so kind? We actually brought this little portable wheel with us. Could you spin it? All right. It landed on cancel someone or something. This is something we've been putting off. So the mayor came to us a week ago and he said, guys, you guys haven't canceled someone in forever. We were like, okay, so what? So we have to be canceling everyone every second. But he's like, this is your job.
Yeah.
Take it seriously, blah, blah,
Stop
blah.
blowing it off.
So we're going to do it. I'll start even because I know what I'm going to cancel.
Yeah.
I'm going to cancel the turkey sandwich.
Wow.
I don't think.
That's a bold
Yep.
move for you. That's all you eat.
I'm okay with a turkey sandwich. It's not as good as a ham sandwich. And so sometimes when I think I'm getting a turkey or getting a ham sandwich, I end up with a turkey sandwich, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
And so I think, but I've got to come up with a reason to cancel
Yeah.
it. So I think maybe it's that turkeys themselves are sexist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, because then we'd want to kill them and eat them. So that's not helpful.
Well, maybe it's because they're slimy.
Oh yeah, I could just be that all turkey makes you sick.
Is that true? Doc off?
Well, does it always make you sick? See, now that
I can be like one of those weird seed oil guys where I think it's or anti-soy guys. I just pay a bunch of people to do studies that say that turkeys poison your brain or whatever.
Oh, that's true.
And
You just pay people.
microplastics.
Yeah.
Turkeys have microplastics in
Turkeys
them.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. Yeah. We've all got it in our bloodstreams now. So of course turkeys will.
And also maybe they're incredibly anti-sexist, so they're an ally, so it'd be wrong to kill them.
That's good. I like that.
I think maybe that's a safer bet.
Turkeys are heroes.
Yes, they're allies. Yeah.
They're the best.
So I think that's pretty
Turkeys
good.
are the most progressive bird.
Yeah.
Warren, do you have anyone that you have just been itching to cancel?
Or anything.
Litter boxes.
Oh,
It just hit
wow.
me. It just hit me.
Yeah.
If cats are smart enough to take a dump in the litter box, why not just use the toilet?
Wow.
So maybe I
okay.
should be canceling cats because they're lazy and they're taking advantage of human kindness.
Wow.
Well, my thing with cats is just why not? When are you going to get your own place? you're kind of you're an adult now. You're just going to live here forever. You know what I mean?
With a kitten, I understand.
Yeah.
It.
Like if you want a litter box in your own house, that's fine. I don't care. That's fine. But like I have to deal with your box of shit.
Well, it's a hoarder's house.
You're not paying rent. You're not paying. You're scratching things for no reason.
Yes, I've seen this.
You just.
It does not like me putting tape on its paws or spinning it around.
Pushing it.
Yeah, pushing it over or giving it some of my concoctions, just, different drinks that I invent.
It's the messed up thing about cats is they love milk, but they're all lactose intolerant.
Oh, no.
So
it does make sense that they'd have to live with you. I mean, they couldn't live on their own.
No, they're
with that lactose intolerance.
They're immature. They're mature, and they know that you're going to clean it up, so they do it anyway.
So they're willfully immature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willfully ignorant, willfully immature.
Okay. So
they don't want to grow up.
Wow. That's a strong cancellation.
They're
too.
man cats.
Like this ain't. We aren't living in the Peter Pan fantasy world where you can stay young forever.
They're like a first act Judd Apatow character.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to come up with a justification that will get everyone on board. So we can say that the reason for cancellation is that cats are blank.
Freeloaders. Cats are is freeloader.
You would get some people on board, but some people are very pro freeloader. I'm pretty pro.
Cats are toxic.
Ooh, yes, they're gaslighting.
They gaslight you.
Cats are gaslighting us all the time. When they meow for food and it's not their dinner time. That's gaslighting.
I didn't even realize that happens.
Yeah.
Cats are gaslighting us.
Wow.
They're canceled.
They are canceled.
Sometimes they throw up just to because they know you'll clean it up.
Oh, wow.
DJ
Dylan, let me hear a cancel noise.
It's like an air.
Dr. London, who do you got?
Yeah, I guess it's time for me to cancel something. I'm going to cancel framed picture of your beautiful family. It's canceled.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. About time.
Yeah.
It's about time.
The framed picture of your family all together, one of the few times you could actually get the family to come together for a picture and not do a gag or something, and nobody's dressed up weird. Everyone's kind of dressing in somewhat matching attire. It's not a Christmas photo, mind you. This is some other time whenever you manage to get the whole family together and you're adults, and so it's very rare.
And that just makes you furious.
Yeah, so we're going to cancel that because some people don't get to have that. No. Okay?
It's inconsiderate to have a picture with your family because some people don't have families.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
And I would say some people don't have specifically their whole family getting together looking nice for a picture.
Right. Lots of people have families. They just don't have like a recent picture of everyone.
Or if you think about
like a recent group photo.
Some people have bad families. So you're kind of bragging and putting it in their face like, my family looks happy in this picture and is a good, happy family. And yours is not. And your dad left. And he never came back.
It's a good family privilege. Well, it's really having the family in the same spot privilege.
Yeah. Same spot. Well, and once again, not for a holiday.
And not for a holiday privilege. Yeah. Wow.
And like dressed fairly nice and like hair decent, So anyway, those are canceled.
Don't
even acknowledge. And that's the worst thing. You have a family and you don't even acknowledge when the person's there. Because you can't help that you have a family, but you can't acknowledge that other people don't have families that are together on not holidays.
You can help if you have a family if you want to take things in your own hands. That's all I'm trying to say. You have a little control over who's still left in your family.
Look at Doc Off. He took things into his own hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
Very alpha move.
Created his
Dr.
own destiny.
London.
Yeah. Thank you. People in this lounge have not been respecting that. Yes.
I know we're running out of time, but do you just want to mention real quick, you're also sort of pivoting to being one of those like alpha YouTuber guys who teaches people how to be a real man?
Oh yeah.
Because I know I said before you're like extremely anti-toxic masculinity, but you're also, for the right price, you're extremely pro-toxic masculinity.
Yeah, well, if it's sponsored content, then sure, that changes all of it. Hey guys, welcome back. Today, we're going to focus a little bit on being the alpha male. What does that mean? Well, we don't say, we don't take any advice from anyone else. If someone else tells us, hey, it's maybe time to be considerate of others, we don't take that, do we?
Yeah.
Listening to that, I was like, I would give you money.
Yeah.
I would
read any books that you do. If you want to feed me some sort of weird vitamin, I'm all for it.
I forgot to mention.
Much as you want to have classes, pickup artist classes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, this episode is sponsored by this new book by Gillette Razors. This book is a great read on how to have shaved. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a big get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a big get.
It's kind of a great read.
It's funny because I remember a few years ago, Gillette, they had that commercial that was like calling out toxic masculinity. So
this is a really fun pivot because they've alienated that crowd and they're trying to pull them back a little bit.
Okay.
Because they've lost a lot of customers to like Harry's Razors and stuff.
Yeah.
So
they've lost the chauvinist crowd.
Yeah.
And who's shaving the most?
Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah. It's well, not our listeners, but like that's part of the reason we are making this pivot. Anyway, so I feel like we're about done with that. So Warren Hoffman, thank you for being on the podcast and for performing as usual. Is there anyone that you're a fan of, anyone you want to promote? I know you were getting your name out there. Any other names you want to get out there?
There's not any names that I want to get out there really. Well, there's a Twitter user by the name of Dezhawn. He's a nice guy. And when I was going through a hard time because of what Taylor Swift did, he was there. He was there to console me, and he was the one person when he was staying at the hotel. He would actually give me full meals and not just the scraps. Obviously, I didn't want full meals, but it was a kind gesture.
Yeah, because
that's too much. It's a little bit too much, but it was a kind gesture.
What? So what's that? The what's the Twitter username?
At Dezhawn France. So it'll be at DEZHAWNFRANCE, like the country.
All right.
He's not French though. He doesn't. Don't even bring up the French if you're talking to him.
Okay. Well, but do still tweet at him if you have relationship issues related to Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm. He'll
be able to advise.
He'll respond to that
appropriately. Okay.
I mean, if there's a French person who has maybe some incriminating info on Taylor Swift, are they going to be conflicted here?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I don't necessarily know if he hates French people. He just doesn't want to be around them and doesn't want to interact with them. So maybe if the French person can relay the information that they have to it,
they want a third party.
Yeah, you want a third party.
Just don't shoot the messenger situation. Okay. Great. Well, so go ahead and tweet at him. So thank you once again for being on. Thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Dezhawn the host.
One man can't do it all. 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 One man can't do it all.
My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.